Okay, so now that you've purchased your planner, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how to set it up. Now, before you can order it to print, you need to do things like add your name and make sure that it's fully serving you. So I'm gonna walk you through step by step how to customize the pages, how to make sure that you have everything you need. So since you bought my planner on TPT, you are gonna get a PowerPoint file. There are gonna be two commands that are gonna be your best friend: delete and duplicate. So what I did when I made this planner is I made sure to not overwhelm you with like 50 pages of notes. So I just included one, and you'll go in and you'll duplicate it as many times as you want for your printed planner. So the shortcut for duplicating is Command D or Control D if you're on a PC. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'm gonna walk you through everything step by step, from editing to deleting extra pages and then getting it printed and bound. Okay, when you first download the planner from TPT, it'll show up as a nice PowerPoint file. So when you open it, you'll be able to see all the things. Now, I do recommend that before you open it, that you download these two fonts. These are the ones I use throughout the document, and it'll just make your life 1% easier to have these already. They're both free on TPT. You can just search the name and it'll come up pretty easily for you. Okay, once you're in, I have a few pages that just kind of include information, but you're going to get most of that information from me right now in this video. I do recommend, as you open it up, there's little sections over here to the side. I recommend minimizing all the sections as it makes scrolling just a little bit easier. So I've organized the PowerPoint with all of these different sections, which makes it super easy if for some reason you're prepping the 27-28 instead of the 26-27, you can move it up here, and then you can move the 26-27 down to the end and vice versa. But for me, this is how I like it organized. I also didn't make a ton of pages in each section because you're welcome to duplicate as many times as you need, but it just makes it easier to scroll through and set up your planner exactly how you'd like it. Okay, now we're gonna put your planner together. So we are gonna start right here at cover options. So we're gonna open that up and we have a few different options for you. So I recommend looking at every single one of them full screen. I think that this is my favorite design, so I am going to get rid of all of these extra ones. And I do want to remind you that if for some reason you delete something, you can always re-download this from TPT and it'll give you back the original file. Now that I've chosen my cover page, I make sure I customize whatever name I want to go by, and then I just keep going through the planner. So I'm going to look through anything I don't want, I'm going to delete. I don't need all of these extra pages. I'm just going to use the important dates, 26-27, because this follows the school year, which is the planner dates that I will be using anyway. So I'm going to delete all of these extra ones. And now I'm going to go into the school year category. I already have this one, so I don't need that or that. Yeah, so right now, cover, open it up. Yeah, I feel like that's cool. That way I can see the dates side by side and I can know what days of the week. So as I'm scrolling through here, I'm just deleting any pages I don't need. And now I'm into the months. The layout itself stays the same. It's nice to have the same structure, but this is kind of what makes it different than other planners. Most planners have that weekly obligation where you're writing on lesson plans and things like that. For here, I'm just gonna write maybe if we're starting a new unit, any special events that we're doing, but I don't need to write detailed plans through here because I use digital plans. All right, the next section is the roster checklist, which if you've seen my other video, you know that I like to clip these, but I just need to make sure that however it ends and begins is how I want it. So this one would open up like this. So this next page would open up like this, and that's exactly how I'd want it. And so if I want multiple sets of these checklists, I'm gonna just select both, shift click both, and then I'm gonna Command D or Control D if you're on a Windows. And I'm gonna duplicate it 5 times. So that gives me 10 total roster pages, which is plenty. Okay, now we're in the meeting notes section, and I kept a couple different styles of meeting notes. So I have IEP or ARD, depending on what you call it. Super straightforward, but it's really nice as a gen ed teacher to go into an ARD with something because they always ask you about current levels, and so it's really nice to just fill this out before I go into that meeting and have very concrete things to share. And I'm gonna duplicate, I think I have 4 ARDs this year. So I did 4. Then down here for MTSS, I'll probably do like 7 maybe, but I can always print more. So if like later in the school year I end up having more MTSSs than I put into this book, I can always just print this single page. And then the last thing, team meeting or meeting notes, I'm gonna just keep it generic and I'm gonna do 7. Okay, Now the last two sections are super simple. You have your to-do list and your notes page. So again, if you want more, you just hit that duplicate, Control D, and then same goes for this. Generally for notes and to-do lists, I like to have one per month. But that's the other really cool thing about this notebook is that if you want to just assign a to-do list and a note page behind each month, you can do that up here at the top. You can just insert it, and then every month you have those already set up for you. Now that I've adjusted how many pages and copies of each thing I put into my notebook, I am good to go ahead and download this and print. I'm going to make sure that I get rid of these first sections because I do not need them. So now I just have my planner pages. I can print. And so on a Mac, you'll have this option to save as a PDF. If you're on a PC, you'll be able to click under your printer options. It'll give you the option to click Microsoft Print to PDF, but that'll allow you to save this with all the fonts, and then you're able to upload it and print. Okay, now that you've fully edited your planner, now it's time to print it and get it bound. When it comes to actually binding your planner, I do want to let you know that it is very expensive to order a bound book, but I found a loophole. The cheapest option is actually going to be for you to print it yourself. So you can print all of these pages at home, at school, wherever you normally do your color printing. I personally print on cardstock because I don't want to have to worry about marker or something bleeding through. One of the nice things about printing it yourself is you can look at how things will line up when you put it into the book before it's actually in it. Then you can take your stack of papers and you can get a spiral binding and even a front cover and back cover added to it for under $10. So that's what I encourage you to do. I hope that this helps. Please, please, please send me an email if you're having any issues or if you would like any additional help. I do not like taking money from teachers unless the product truly works for you. So please don't hesitate to let me know if there's a way that I can improve this. But I hope that you're able to make the Type B teacher planner of your dreams. And I hope that this made it very accessible to you. Okay, bye.